Good morning, FlossTube. My name is Laura, and I'd like to welcome you to Stitching by the Shore, my channel all about cross stitch. You're going to see it's a little bit different looking. I have tried 3 times with my phone and my normal setup, and even though I have almost half of my storage free on my phone, it keeps telling me I don't have enough storage to videotape. The first time I had only taped like 7 minutes and it just cut out. All right, second time I had taped almost the whole video and it said not enough storage. So I ruthlessly tried to get rid of stuff. Third time I said, okay, it's gonna work. And 10 minutes in, it just cut it out again. So apparently my phone doesn't want to listen to me talk. So we're trying this on the iPad. So I hope it comes out okay. My apologies if it doesn't look exactly the same, but I hope you'll stick with it. If you are new, after all that, welcome. Thank you so much for pressing play and giving my channel a try. Usually I'm not this flustered and usually things run a little bit better, but, and I know I talk with my hands, so it's gonna look a little bit bigger on this screen, I think, so I don't know if I'll get self-conscious about it. I hope you like what you see. I hope you'll press like and subscribe and leave comments and all the good stuff because I'd love to get to know you better. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for just coming back each week and all your encouragement and all the great things that you just say to me and interact with me about and encourage me. It really means a lot. So thank you so much. So this is a channel about cross stitch, and every once in a while I throw in something crafty. Very rarely, but it's funny. I was looking for something to show you today, and I came across something that takes stitching and paper crafting and puts them together. So I thought it'd be fun to show you. Now, I do most of my paper crafting now. I do stamping, and that's by and large the majority of what I do. But I've been stamping since 1992 and paper crafting that entire time. And over the years, there's been a lot of different techniques and things to do that I've tried and done and enjoyed. And this happened to be one of them. I don't remember how long ago these kinds of things were popular, but we used to stitch on cards. So that is a stitched card. And I'm sure it's just regular DMC floss. Basically, what you do is you'd have a template, you'd put it over your base cardstock, use one of those paper piercers and pierce the holes. This is 2 strands of cardstock, and then you just take your needle and you put the stuff through. So I thought that was super cute. I hadn't realized I'd had it. I have a lot of stuff. I have a craft room that's a disaster and needs my attention one day, but that's just a happy accident that I found. So hopefully I might look in my computer files to see if I have more of these types of the base things that I can do for piercing, and maybe I'll make some cards with stitching. So that's my little stitching paper crafting moment. Otherwise, it's all cross stitch, so let's get started. My first piece, you're not surprised that it's a finish, I hope not, because I was so close. It is Shakespeare's Peddler Antique Locks and Keys. So that's the pattern. And here's the finish. I was so close. I think I had 2 left. I had these 2 left. So that's what the finish looks like. This is done. My notes are way far away now, so I'm gonna need my glasses. This is done on 18 count Tin Smith from Dying for Cross Stitch, Kathy. She's got some new colors out that I wanted to check out. I think she put them out last weekend, but I digress. This is what it looks like, and it's done in, I was gonna say antique, but that's not it. It's anchor black. When I have large pieces of black to stitch, I prefer anchor black to 310. Little stuff here and there, I use 310, but I do like the anchor. So every time I go to 1, 2, 3 stitch, I plop some in my cart, so I have a steady supply of them. So this is so fun. What I did was I would stitch a key or a lock a day, and it went by so fast that way, and then I'd put it away. And it felt like I had a little mini finish every day. So that was a lot of fun. For those of you who may not have been with me when I started this, my plan with this is to finish it up and place it on something that I think I'll have to create that will be a key holder. So I need to figure out in Delaware the space where this would go and size it out, get probably a wood base of some sort, paint it, figure out how I'm layering things, and then get some key hooks and put those in. And that's my goal. So eventually, but I need to get back to Delaware. So that's that first, well, I was gonna say the first finish. It's the only finish. So that's it for that one. So I have 3 works in progress, 2 of which are continuations from last week, and 1 I pulled out separately. This one is taking me forever. Country Cottage Needleworks, June Cottage. You know, I'm stitching these for my mom, and I don't know why. It's not like it's an elaborate pattern. I mean, it's kind of one of the more simpler ones compared to some of the other ones that they have, but for whatever reason, it is taking me forever. So this is what I have. So this is done on 18 count vintage country Mocha, and it is on the printed side. You know, I've done a lot of them on the other side. I accidentally started this one on this side, and I actually do like it, so I kept it. And I'll probably do a few of the other ones I haven't done yet on here. So it's a little bit of variety, and this isn't the only one that's off. So this was a tough, the beginning of the week I did some of my week, I call my weeks from video to video is how I put them. So like Friday afternoon on. I gave this some time at the beginning of my stitching week, and I didn't get very far. So I did work some on it yesterday as well. And I definitely got a lot more accomplished. So super happy to see that and get farther along on it. So we're plugging along. I mean, a few more weeks maybe, plugging along. But one that I always enjoy pulling out, and I know you all enjoy seeing it, the Little Stitcher, Mary Poppins. It's a digital pattern. I so enjoy stitching on this one. And here we go. So this is what we've got. So this is done on 18 count Winter Blues from Bestitchme. And this week it was all focusing here, Big Ben. So last week I kept calling it the clock tower, and I'm sure most of you were yelling at the screen saying, Laura, it's Big Ben. And I know a couple of you mentioned in the comments about it. Thank you, because for whatever reason I wasn't thinking. But what I did first was I filled in all the darker brown, and it wasn't a lot of counting, because once you did the first one, everything's pretty symmetrical. So it was pretty easy from there. And then what I'm doing now is just filling in the middle. So that's been super easy if I want to watch TV or, you know, a show or a floss tube or something or other. I'm just filling in. So it's been fun and simple and easy. I have one more house here, and then I have the border and the words down here. So my goal would be to get this one finished by May, before Mania, and I totally think I can do it. I don't necessarily think it can be done before April, but if not, sometime into April it should be done. No idea what I'm going to do with it, but I don't care because I enjoy stitching this one. Some pieces I have an idea of what I want to do. Some I just stitch for the enjoyment of stitching, and this is so totally one of those. This is a nice blue from Bestitchme. It's a little bit on the gray tones, but it's really nice. So that's Mary Poppins. And then the last of my works in progress is Little House Needleworks, Kringles. I pulled it out. So you know, I had started this last Mania, and in the course of the year, I've realized I don't want to stitch 3 floors. I'm only going to stitch 2. It's going to be a 2-story building. Obviously, the first story is such, and then take out that row and move all this down, and it'll be the 2 stories. Of the windows, I don't know which ones I'm necessarily going to finally come up with. That'll be the last thing I decide, I think. But that's my plan with it. And once I made that, I really enjoyed stitching on it again. When I had those 3 stories, it kind of was a chore. So this is what I have. This is on, let me look at my notes, 18 count Artemis from Bestitchme. It's a really nice gray, really, really nice gray. And the colors show up nicely on it. So I'm really pleased I picked this color. So basically what I'm doing is I'm working on the bricks and the mortar. I've decided I'm going to just build the whole building, and then eventually, like I said, fill in the windows at the end. And again, that's really nice. The bricks take count. Well, the bricks up here don't take, they're a design that you can figure out. So that doesn't take much counting. Down here though, you do have to count because it's different amounts. But once that's done, the in between the bricks and mortar, is really easy, really, really easy. And so I can do that kind of mindlessly as well. So I am definitely going to work again next time finishing up this, and then the top row will be done building, and I can continue working down. Actually, then the next fun thing will be the sign, the next big part. This was a window that I had started because I kind of wanted to get away from, this was back when I was still doing all 3 stories. I wanted to get away from just all the monotonous stuff. But after I figured out that I wanted to do 2 stories, I realized that this was not a window I wanted, the design. So I have been frogging it out. Luckily, I'd only done about half of it, not all of it. So I'm in the process of pulling it out. It's slow going because I'm terrified of ripping the fabric after getting all that stitched, especially all of this counting. So I'm going really slow with it, but that's fine because I have a long time to go before I'll be filling in the windows. So that's where it is. I've given myself for the month of March, I'd like to do 2 out of my 4 weeks. I'd like to give it some stitching time. So I don't know if I'll continue with it next week or I'll wait a week, but I'm just going to do more building. For those of you, did you start it? Have you finished? What are you doing with it? Come back to it and let me know if you are. Show me pictures because I need some encouragement if somebody else is stitching it as well. It's really pretty. I've seen pictures of it when people have finished it, and it's gorgeous. I like my plan. It definitely brought more joy to stitching that to me after I had kind of gone off of it. So those are my continued works in progress, just plugging along on those. What I did for a couple new starts was I took a couple minis that are seasonal. So I've finished my St. Patrick's stitching and I'm working on Easter. And I really like having these little minis interspersed with the big pieces because then you feel like you get a few finishes and then you move on to the bigger piece and it kind of feels good going back and forth. Now I would have shown you, and I did 3 times on my videos, I'd show you the patterns on Etsy, color and bigger, on my iPad, but since I'm attempting to videotape on my iPad, I can't do that. So I'm gonna have to show you the little digital. And you know I print black and white, which is why you're seeing what you're seeing. And you know what, I'm gonna do this behind because the pattern is right behind there. So this one is from Primrose Cottage Stitches and it's On the Hunt. There are 3 of these in the series and I did get all 3. I won't show you this week. I would have normally, one says Happy Easter and I think one says Hippity Hop. They're all the same small size, the same kind of color schemes, but just all different themed Easter. And I think they did on their base a yellow or a cream. I went a little bit different with it. Oops, let's see how, so it doesn't, there it is. So this is 18 count Icicle from Under the Sea Fabrics. I have to say, you know, I only came back to cross stitching however long ago now it is. And I didn't know about Leslie's Fabrics, Under the Sea. But they're lovely. This is the first one I've stitched on and I really enjoyed it. I really am enjoying it, I should say. Now, I had to make a couple substitutions. This border and this pink are charted. The border's charted in a Weeks Dye Works and the pink is charted in a Gentle Art. Sadly, they didn't give DMC alternatives, which I was kind of surprised because I think they have in the past. But that's all right. I'll go to my little trusty chart. Now, my chart had, instead of Island Breeze, it had 964. So that I had it actually, which was exciting. This one I didn't have, I did a different pink instead. But what's interesting, in the picture, in the original, it definitely looks more turquoisey. This looks more mint to me. And after I stitched the whole thing, and then I started with these words, I said, it looks a little different. And it is. I'm keeping this one the way it is, because I'm not gonna take out that whole border. But for the other 2, I'm not sure if I'll keep 964 or if I will look for something that's a little bit more turquoisey. And for those 2, just do it a little different. So I could even do all 3 slightly different if I really wanted to, just for variety. They are all 3 gonna go on this Icicle fabric though, so that's not gonna change. But it's super cute. These are quick stitches if you're looking for something that is not, going to take a long time. On 18 count here, it's 2 3/8 by 2 3/8. At 14 count, it would be a 3x3, 14 or 28. So just size-wise, if you were thinking about it. So that's the first of my Easter stitches that I've been working on. Now the other one didn't start off as an ornament size, but I am totally planning on doing that instead. I had bought this pattern last year, right before Easter, and I didn't do it. I hadn't started it, and I'm kind of glad I didn't because then I kind of changed my mind of what I was going to do. So this is from Sugar Stitches, They're on Etsy, and it's called Cottontail Candies. And that's kind of the digitalized version of it that you see there. And super cute, super cute. And originally I was going to stitch the whole thing. And then this designer, she has 4 that are along this line. I only have 2. This is the other one. It's called Cottontail Delivery. Put that behind so it doesn't. Now how cute is that? This is a little purple truck if you were to see it in person. And what I realized, if I do these full-size Cottontail Delivery, Cottontail Candies, one is a carrot patch, and then I think cupcakes. If I end up doing all 4, I don't know if I will. How am I going to finish them? How am I going to display them? They're kind of an in-between size. And I realized, how cute would it be if I just do the middle part and make them little ornaments to go with some of the other Easter seasonal minis that I'm doing. So I'm doing the little Peep and his jelly beans, and I'm doing the rabbit, and I'm doing the egg. And I think on this one, then what I'll end up doing is I'll just do the bunny with the eggs in the truck. How cute would that be? So that's the plan with that, and that's how I'm changing it up. And this is the stitched part of it. So cute. So this is done on an 18 count. It's an ice dyed fabric with it's not named, it's an unnamed fabric from To Dye for Fabrics. Now Kimberly had sent me this fabric as a thank you for all my support. You know, I buy a lot of her fabric, and I rave to anybody who will listen how fabulous her fabric is, because it is. If you haven't tried it or seen her, please go check her out. I asked her about it, and right now she's not ice dyeing. I know, I think it's more of an effort, right? And I'm not sure you always know what you're getting, so it's maybe not as predictable as regular dye. So I don't know what her plans would be with that. But she has lovely blues, so don't check out her blues section if you were just looking for a fun blue. But this is gorgeous, and I'm so glad I used it for it. All I have left, this was a quick stitch. I started it this week. All I have left is the egg. And I am going to do this guy on the same fabric. So those 2, and if I end up deciding to do any of the others in that series, they'll go on this blue. And then there's 3 in this series. So they'll all go on the lilac, the light purple. And then Helen D, remember the Helen D freebie I showed you last week? I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to take the different flosses from these 3 patterns and these couple patterns, figure out a third, probably maybe a light yellow color, another pastel I'll bring in, and decide what floss is out of all of these, so everything will kind of have a cohesiveness to it. And I'll stitch Helen's pattern on a third pastel-y color, so that when these all do happen to be on some sort of decorative tree, tabletop-y tree, they'll all go really nice together. So that's my plan. You know, if I have a long-term goal on some of these, I really try to coordinate, not have everything matchy-matchy, but have things that are coordinating colors. So this is the sugar stitches. I love everything about this little guy. So cute. The little Peep is adorable. So I'll link them down below. They are on Etsy. They have a lot of Easter patterns, actually. Quite a few of the cute little Eastery patterns. So if you're... Whoa. There went the cushion that's usually at my back. It went flying. There's lots of things happening here. So that's my stitching. That's all. Plans. I'm going to finish both of these guys if I can this week. I'd like to work on the June Cottage, and I'd like to work on Mary, and then Mary Poppins. And then the other days of the week, I'll see. Usually what I do is I go through my my pile of projects and see what calls to me, what I want to work on. Probably maybe start another Easter as well. Either one from either of these 2. This truck gets me, so that might be it. I have to see. Actually, I have to see if I have the colors. All of these are all the same shades of floss, or I might start Helen's. So we'll see. I probably won't get all of these done for Easter this year, but that's okay because I have no furniture in Delaware, so I have no place to put a tabletop tree. It's coming. So that's it. Plans are a little loosey-goosey with just some regular stuff going on. So I wanted to show you a little happy mail I got. Colleen had won a giveaway from me and sent me a very nice note, and she stitches, her mom stitches, and her daughter stitches. So she's like, we always have some duplicates. We had this duplicate and we thought you might like it. She was totally right. Little Stitch Girl. I have not done anything from Little Stitch Girl, but how cute is this? I love that. So Colleen, if you start this, let me know, because I would love to stitch this with you. I think you said you hadn't started it yet, but adorable. I love the wind. I love the houses. I just love everything about it. So thank you so much. I cannot wait to give this a try and stitch it. So thank you. All right, shopping. Now I have, this week I bought the different patterns from Primrose. So again, there are 3 of these. I only have the one to show you. If I link Primrose Cottages down below, so you will see if you wanted to see the other 2. I bought one other digital pattern, and this one is from Crocetta Go-Go. Remember, they were my owls, and it's so pretty in person. It's not going to show. It's called something daisies in English. I don't remember. Again, on my picture on the iPad, it had the Etsy in English, and I could have told you. Something daisies, spring daisies maybe spring daisies actually. And it's so pretty, the different greens. So I'd like to start this probably April or May. Does anybody have this? If you want to start it with me and stitch it with me, it is just so pretty and cheerful and lovely that I'd love to stitch it with one of you. So let me know. Give me a holler if you are stitching this or either started it or have it and want to start it, because I'm totally on board with stitching it with you. So that was the digital pattern I bought. And then I had a couple fabrics come in. And these are going to be absolutely no surprise to anybody who's followed me, because you know I am a blue and a gray girl. If I could only have 2 fabric colors, I'd cry, but they would be blue and gray, and then I'd make do with all the different shades of blue and gray. But luckily, I don't have to have only 2 colors normally, and I can spread out. But you know I'm always drawn to the blues and the grays. These are from Under the Sea Fabrics, and I guess they were at one point or another last year a fabric of the month. I'm not part of her club. I think it's full and quite hard to get into. But these, she did offer these at the end of last year, and she's a busy one. So they just came in not that long ago. So I thought I'd show them to you. This one is called Spellbound, and it's a pretty, pretty gray. Look at how pretty that is. So that's the gray, and these are both 18 count Ada that you're going to see, just to give you a color reference. And this one is called Stonewashed, and again, it's a super pretty color. Look at that. How pretty is that blue? So versatile. I can see a lot of different things stitched on that. Whoops, we have some fuzz. Yeah, that's all right. I'll get rid of it afterwards. But my blue and my gray. So not a surprise there. These were ordered, like I said, a while ago, but I loved the different shades, and I thought it'd be exciting to get these 2. So that's it. That's all the shopping I've got. I think I've got a few things coming, so hopefully I'll have more to show you next week. Somehow or other, depending on how I'm able to tape, we'll see. But that's it. So let's do giveaway stuff. So thank you so much to everybody who had talked about what they were doing or their thoughts for Expo last week. The giveaway is for Bunny Bakery from Stitching with the Housewives. And when I was telling you about the flosses, I had said the CCW completely made me think Color and Cotton. It's classic Colorworks, by the way. I thought about that afterwards. I said, whoops. I use the DMC all the time. So that's why it kind of threw me for a loop. But a lot of you are interested in this pattern, and super exciting. And let's see who is going to end up with it. The winner is, let me grab a name. Okay, Fran Cohen. So Fran, if you could please get back to me, and you can either Gmail me stitchingbytheshort@gmail. It's down below. Or you can send me a comment with on Instagram. Send me a DM. So I'm going to put your name right with the pattern so I know. And please get back to me within 2 weeks so I can ship it to you. If for whatever reason you send me a Gmail and you don't hear back from me within a day or two, there's been a couple times where I didn't get something. So reach out again, because I always do respond, and I do try to get these out as soon as possible. So I would get this out by the beginning of next week if I hear from you. So Fran, reach out to me. All right. So that's this week, or this past week's. And whoops, let's see all my stuff here. This one is an older pattern, and some of you may have it, but I thought it was cute, and so I'm giving it away this week. And what it is Lizzie Kate's Spring String. Got a little bit of everything for spring. And what I thought I would ask you this week, and what made me think of it actually when I was thinking about it today, is it's really nice here. Yesterday was probably the nicest day of the week, and tomorrow is going to be a nice day as well. And it was funny because Mo and I sat outside for a couple hours. I'm looking outside because the sun is out there. And he said, boy, I could take this year round. And I was thinking about it. Are you somebody who, if you had your choice, would you take a certain temperature weather the same every day, all the year round? Or do you like the 4 seasons? Now, I live in New England. I get the 4 seasons. I've always gotten the 4 seasons. And when I was younger, I totally would have said all 4 seasons. As I get older, I'm swinging a little bit more in the other direction of nice, comfortable weather every single day. It's not a bad thing. You know, I've seen leaves change. I've had snowstorms. I'm not necessarily sure I need to continue to see. If it was the same weather every day, that I could get outside and get the sun and get the fresh air and just not be cold and not be this, that, or too hot or whatever, I don't know what I would do. But what would you do? What would your choice be? So that's the question. Everybody can answer that. If you'd like to put your name in for Lizzie Kate's Spring String, just add the word string to your comment anywhere. Just throw it in. Anywhere at all, and I will put your name in for this giveaway, and I will choose that in the next video. So that's about it. If you don't care about life stuff, I will see you next week, and hopefully taping will go a little bit easier. Hopefully I can figure out how to upload this from my iPad. Then hopefully taping goes easier next week. Thank you so much for all your support for Meg. And I told her that we had people that played lacrosse and talked about lacrosse and commiserated with her. She just found out that they are going to allow them to have contact practices because they weren't even allowed to do real sport. You know, they're masked already, but they weren't allowed to even be close to each other. But they are allowing them to have contact, at least in their practices, so it'll seem a little bit more real. And Megan goes to Bryn Mawr, and I don't know if any of you know the area. Haverford College is literally a mile away, and they're part of a consortium with Swarthmore that, you know, you can take classes at all the schools. During Corona, or COVID, it's really been more just Haverford and Bryn Mawr, but you basically, one campus is the other campus. So you'll see people, like last semester, Megan had to take a class at Haverford. It was just not offered at Bryn Mawr. So they're trying to get the Haverford girls lacrosse team potentially to be able to scrimmage with the Bryn Mawr girls. We'll see. It would at least be fun to get a little bit of real game time in, even if it's not real games. But that's it. Connor is just busy with. So Connor is into theater in high school, and he likes the behind the scenes. So he likes building the sets. He is last year he missed half the year because of COVID, but for the past 2 years he's been the stage manager for all the productions. And this year in the fall, winter, it was more of just it was a streamed thing that was just little vignettes, so he didn't have to do much. they're actually filming a movie. They're doing Clue, the movie version, this spring. And so he's kind of in charge of all of the whatever stage manager does, especially on a movie. So that's ramped up, and he's been doing building sets after school and doing some rehearsal stuff. They've been really good. We had a parent meeting and with the drama teachers, and the amount of precautions they are taking is amazing. So if they can get this movie actually filmed with the amount of precautions they are doing, they're embracing what's the reality of this spring, and they're running with it. I think they're actually looking at, for the actors and actresses, clear masks of some sort, and maybe try to work them into the costumes for Clue. Just, you know what? It is the way it is, so you got to work with it. So he's been a little bit busier with that and enjoying that. He plugged away on his homework last weekend. He's still got more. So we're trying to get all those later segments done. But yeah, that's pretty much him. You know, he goes to school and he goes to theater stuff, and that's really it. And we don't see him much. The teenage boy, he does his thing. And right now, you know, things are tough, and he's got his friends on FaceTime, Zoom, whatever they do. I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? If he comes down with a smile on his face and he's in a happy mood, then I'm a happy mom, because right now I know things mentally are tough for these kids. Really, really tough. And if I can see a smile, a genuine, real smile, I'm cool with that. That works for me. Other than that, not a lot going on this weekend. The nice weather is leaving us. It's going to be in the 40s starting tomorrow. I think still sunny, but next week, poor St. Patrick's Day, I think there is a storm coming. Whether or not we're getting snow, I really don't know. I don't think they know yet. We're clearly not doing anything for St. Patrick's Day. I found a vegan recipe for Irish soda bread, and I did try it, and it came out pretty good, I have to say. So I can make some Irish soda bread. And this week I actually made shepherd's pie using lentils rather than meat, and it's delicious. It's a fabulous recipe. So either next St. Patrick's Day we can do a shepherd's pie, vegan, or I also tried a vegan Irish stew recipe, and I think it was mushrooms, because a lot of times things like shiitake mushrooms are a great alternative for meat, because they're kind of chewy and they have that kind of consistency. And it was delicious as well. So next St. Patrick's Day, we are probably either going to do vegan shepherd's pie or vegan Irish stew with a little bit of soda bread along with it. So I'll have to, hopefully I can maybe make some stuff and show some pictures on Instagram. We'll see. So that'll be our celebration next week. I was going to go with the Irish sweater this week, but I pulled out this instead. So maybe next week. The Irish sweater's a little itchy. Don't tell my mother-in-law because she made it, but so I kind of went with this because I was kind of itching and pulling at it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like a kid right now. So you don't want to see me doing that. So I'll figure out how I can wear it maybe next week. But that's about it. I hope I get this uploaded, and I hope you get a chance to see it. I really wanted to visit with you this week, so I've tried really, really hard. I hope I didn't seem flustered or stressed on this fourth take. I just hope it goes well. But other than that, thank you so much for hanging in there and being part of my Stitchy journey and my Stitchy life. My Stitchy friends, I hope you're well. I hope you're safe, taking care of yourself, and I hope, you know, maybe you get a little chance to get a little sunshine and a little nice weather as well. And until next time, happy stitching.